Welcome to the Ford Ranger. I feel really short.
I feel really tall. Yes.
Here, switch.
Why do you always have to be better than me?
Well, I have the long torso and the short legs.
Look at his legs.
Speaking of
Look at
legs,
his legs.
they are on full display today. So explain where we are.
We're right outside of Whistler, BC with the all-new Ford Ranger.
And we're taking it off-road. Who gets to go first? Yes, finally.
Again.
Well, Brian, I got to tell you, they have been working us hard on this trip.
Absolutely. This isn't just like eating and drinking and driving on this trip.
We don't drink and drive. Eating and drinking.
Yes. And then...
alcohol.
Anyways, yeah.
You get the idea.
No drinking and driving, but we've been exercising.
Yes. Now that's totally foreign to us, going on a press trip, and they want us. So they took us to Squamish, which is halfway to Whistler, and they said, "Hey, do you want to go on a little hike?" And we're like, "Sure, we'll go on a little hike."
Yeah.
So we go up on the gondola up the mountain. Then they take us on this hike to this trail. What's it called?
Via Ferrata.
Is that like Pininfarina?
I don't know. It sounds like a new Starbucks drink.
And so what this is, it was pioneered in the Italian Alps. They put all of these sort of ladders and rungs, and you can go climbing without any mountain climbing expertise. Us.
Yeah.
And so that's what we did, and it was pretty extreme.
It was, you're vertical at some points, right?
Yeah.
But you're strapped in. It's a great way to be introduced into mountain climbing.
Yeah.
You know, really.
So the reason is that they wanted us to experience the Ranger lifestyle, and we're also doing e-mountain bikes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. You know, so e-mountain bikes. The Ranger is really geared toward the outdoor enthusiast.
Yeah, they want this to be the weekend warrior truck. Hey, a guy who's running a business and needs a truck for work, they'll sell him an F-150, but they really think that the market for this are the people that like to go skiing and snowboarding and windsurfing and mountain biking and all that kind of
Dirt
stuff.
biking, don't forget dirt biking.
And dirt biking,
yeah. I could see a couple bikes in the back of there in the bed there.
So I remember clearly, Brian, it was in 2011, I believe, when they canceled the old Ranger, and I said, well, are you replacing it? And they said, no, all of our needs will be filled with a base F-150. We can sell a stripped down base F-150, and that will fulfill everybody's needs. Were they right?
I don't think so, because the Ranger's back.
Yeah, it is back. And you know who had the market all to themselves?
Toyota, the Tacoma, they had no competition.
And they sold so many of them, and they created a very loyal base.
Yeah.
So number one truck in the world in this class is Toyota Tacoma / Hilux, right?
Yep.
That vehicle that's used all over the world. Number two in the world is this. And this has been sold, this truck, in international markets. Now, the most notable, I think it was 2013, this Ranger was introduced for the Australian market. And I asked them, I said, well, you're making it already. Why don't you bring it to North America? No. An F-150 will be all that you need. But guess what happened? Who else came back with a mid-sized truck?
General Motors.
That's right, the Colorado and Canyon. So now Ford, they're the pickup truck brand, right? Is kind of playing catch up a little bit.
Yeah, but you know they're catching up pretty quick, because right now, currently in Canada, they're number 3 right now.
Yeah, so it's Tacoma, then I think it's Colorado, one of the 2 GM trucks, and then this.
Yes.
And it's selling very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
Also because it's brand new. Kind of brand new. That's the other thing is, it isn't an all-new truck. It's a modified truck for a market. You know who we had a chance to talk to?
The head of product planning for this truck and F-150.
Since we left the segment in 2011, the segment's seen exponential growth, and so now it's a very viable market for us. Obviously, F-150 is the leader in its segment, so we know trucks. It made sense for us to participate in midsize pickup. This Ranger meets all the durability testing that an F-150 needs to attain. It has aluminum hood, aluminum door, slightly different front fascia. It has a front steel bumper, which is unique to the North American market. Select use of aluminum, which I spoke about, and the 2.3-liter EcoBoost engine coupled with a 10-speed automatic transmission.
So this is the 2.3-liter EcoBoost 4-cylinder engine. Now, what are EcoBoost engines good at?
Torque. Lots of torque.
Yeah, and lots of power.
Yeah.
So Ford believes that with this one engine strategy, only selling this truck with one engine, that they can capture a large slice of the market because it's going to have the horsepower you need, more importantly, the torque for towing. What's the towing capacity?
7,500 pounds.
Yeah, which is best in class,
Yep.
which is impressive. So they figure they can cast a wide net. So yeah, EcoBoost engines are wonderful engines, and they've been out for quite a while now. What are they not good at?
Fuel economy.
And that's the
Yeah.
thing is, you know, in the lab, for the EPA ratings, they can get good fuel economy, but in everyday situations, I find when you use all that torque, they can suck gas. This thing, we driving up here from Vancouver and driving it around here, we're getting 14 liters per 100 kilometers.
Yikes. Right?
That's not great, right?
From a four-cylinder.
From
right?
a four-cylinder.
But yeah, once you get into that turbo though, which is often, it's going to start sucking it up pretty good.
But on the way here, we did a lot of the highway driving. And the one thing I will say, it's very quiet and it's smooth to the point where I find it when there's nothing in the truck, right?
Yeah.
It can be a little bit bobbing and porpoising over bumps, a bit too soft for my liking. Did you notice it?
I did notice it a little bit, but it'd be really good for an everyday driver though. If you're driving this every day into the office, whatever, it's very civilized in here. It's very quiet, got a lot of power and a lot of torque.
Yeah, it's comfortable enough for sure. Now, because this is an older vehicle, you know, they might have updated. I can't remember what the inside of the Australian one looks like, but you know, it's not the latest and the newest, but it's fine for this category. Like you think about what the other brands have, it's perfectly fine in here.
Yeah, so let's talk about, we're off-road right now, but we did a little bit more extreme off-roading than this, absolutely. And this has the FX4 package.
And this is the one they think they're going to sell the most in. So we have the Lariat, right? But they think the XLT with the FX4 package will be the best seller.
Yeah, so this package is $1,400. I think that's a pretty good value because you get a lot for that.
Yeah,
right?
You get skid plates, 3 skid plates
Yep.
underneath. You get the all-terrain tires. You get the monotube shocks. You get, what else do you get?
That's there.
Oh yeah, you get the terrain management system. Yeah, so here in the center is a dial that you can go for the, traction stability control, terrain modes, normal, grass, gravel, snow, mud, ruts, and sand. And it also has the hill descent control, which is kind of like a low-speed cruise control.
Yeah, and that only comes with the FX4 package. All Rangers are 4x4, but you only get that with the FX4.
I gotta say though, we now have been driving it for 2 days. The more I drive it, actually I think I appreciate it more driving it like this.
Off-road.
Off-road. I think it shows more of its capability doing this than driving it on paved roads. On paved roads, I didn't love the drive, but I actually, spending the day going up and down hills over bumpy roads, going through water, all that kind of stuff, I kind of feel a little bit more of an affinity for it. And they said that the durability test that they use for F-150, they use for this. I don't know exactly sure what that means, but obviously whatever internal testing they have for F-150, they're using for this.
So what do you think about this size of truck in general though?
I have one. I have an older Tacoma.
Does it make sense to buy this over an F-150 per se? I'm talking like for an everyday person. I know people that own F-150s and they don't even use it to pull anything or haul anything. They use it as a daily driver and they just like trucks, right?
Yeah, they like trucks. They like the space. So that's one thing. They like being able to see over things. And if they ever do, like the reason why I have an old Tacoma because I like having the ability to go to Home Depot or wherever it is. I can take stuff to the dump. I can throw bicycles in the back, and I don't worry about it. But mine's old. This truck is like $50,000. Mine was, I think, paid 10 grand for it, right, as a used truck. So yeah, it's a very different proposition having an old beater truck like mine versus a shiny new one like this. But at this price point, man, you can get an F-150.
This one here as tested. This is the Lariat. So it starts at $42,289, and then with all the options here,
look at the total.
It is $49,500.
A lot of money,
just under $50,000. But if you load up all those other trucks, you're in that same ballpark as well.
What's the number one thing that Tacoma has going for it?
It's got a following, that's for sure.
And what does that mean? That means resale value.
Yeah.
the resale value on those things is astronomical. You buy one, you drive it for 10 years. Ask me how I know. I had to pay.
How do you know? How do you know,
Because I had to buy one that was 10 years old, and it was like the stripped down base model, and they still fetch big money. It's crazy. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm not saying this won't do that, but it'd be interesting to see if it can compete on that front. And that's the thing is, like, someone's going to spend, like, you know, speaking to the product planning guy here, he said, okay, but we're very competitive with what everybody else is in the marketplace. So the number one truck obviously is Tacoma, right? And they're thinking, okay, someone's going to spend $50,000 on a Tacoma. Well, you know, in 4 years, you're going to get most of that back. Is that the case with this? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. Well, we did also have a chance to check out your truck.
Yeah, it was interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, because we wanted to see the different size of bed that they both offer, and, you know, length, width, everything else.
Okay, side to side, inside.
Inside,
Yeah.
right?
That's 57 inches. Okay, and then
Length.
no, inside the wheel well.
Okay.
Okay, inside the wheel well is 45, and then length. We've got to do depth too. That's 74 basically.
74.
A second here, I'm gonna write that down. 74, and then depth. I'll do that. Is 18. Okay. Okay. Inside the bed, I guess we'll go under the lip. Is 64.
4.
Okay, it's wider. Inside the wheel well, 46. About the same.
This one's definitely higher, though, that's for sure.
Length is way shorter.
Oh, yeah.
That is 66. Wait a second, go back. That's not 66, it's 56. Wait. 60. And depth, just a second here. 60 and depth. A lot deeper.
Oh, yeah.
That's 20. Well, yeah, 21. Okay. So it's bigger in every way except for length. What's more useful, Brian? Longer or wider?
Well, depends who you ask.
I don't know. If I'm going to spend all of this money and buy a pickup truck, I want a little more bed capability than this 5-footer. I guess you can flop the tailgate down and get a bed extender if you need it. But I don't know. I don't know about that.
All depends what you're using it for. You know,
Yeah.
I have a dirt bike, and I do have a dirt bike. Yes,
I've never seen it.
Yes, regardless what kind of truck I had, even a full size, you'd still have to put that rear tailgate down anyways.
A bed extender down there. Okay.
Okay, so the sweets for the Ranger.
Ranger's back. Number one.
Number one, that is right.
Number two, towing capacity.
Best in class, 7,500 pounds.
Number three, over 300 pound-feet of torque is a satisfying vehicle to drive.
Yes. Now the sour.
It likes gas.
It likes gas, so
The bed is a little small.
a little bit, yeah.
We found the sync system slow,
It's a little bit on the sluggish side.
but that can be updated, hopefully. And we found the on-road ride to be a little bit vague. Much better off-road, but on-road felt a little bit vague.
So you could put that on the Suite as well. On the flip side, it was really good off-road.
Yeah, a really impressive off-road. I think that, as I said, the more I drive it, in this situation, the more I'm feeling an affinity for it. I think my old two-wheel drive Tacoma wouldn't do as well up here.
Mind you, you know, like, this isn't even the most extreme stuff that we are doing with it. We are no four-wheel drive experts by any means at all, right? You know, so, but we're, you know, the weekend warrior. We've been off-road before, you know, and I think we're a good representation of the buyer of this in a way, because who out there, I'd like to see, you know, put in the comments, do you take your pickup truck off-roading, like extreme 4x4?
It'd be interesting to see how many people say, oh yeah, I do it all the time, or are people overbuying capacity? Like, you're buying a 4x4 truck with an FX4 package with the ability to go off-road. Are you ever really using it?
Yeah, or are you just going on logging roads to go camping every weekend, or even the odd weekend?
Or even just using it for snow in the winter?
Yeah.
which is probably most people.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
That's another edition. That's the Ford Ranger edition of Sweet and Sour.
Now, if you're watching this on either of our other channels, Everyday Reviews or Motormouth, make sure that you head over in the description to the Sweet and Sour channel, the brand new channel that we have below there.
So we're going to be doing more videos like this. Not all of them will be on our channels. We're just doing this to try and drive some extra traffic. So please go to the link below, subscribe, hit the notification, and you'll see more Sweet and Sour soon.
Thanks for watching.